Two news stories got me thinking this week about the nature of time. If you can spare a minute, I'll tell you about it. First, there were the Finns. Their relatively young Prime Minister, Sanna Marin, aged 34 3/4, has called for a 4-day working week and 6-hour days to let people spend more time with their families and have more of a wossname, a life. This is radical stuff, and Britain and the USA are expected to send tanks to the country immediately to put a stop to such nonsense. Indeed, didn't Labour's manifesto or programme or policy on the hoof indicate a similar aspiration, causing much frothing at the mouth in right-wing newspaper offices up and also down the land? It's something you should always remember. All the talk about freedom, sovereignty, civil rights, this liberty, that liberty and parliamentary politics generally is just froth. All that really matters is the economy, by which is meant profiting from the labor of others. Threaten that with strikes or shorter days and you will feel the wrath. But that's old hat. The 6-hour day is new hat, though I think it already happens in Sweden, where it's reported to have created happier, wealthier and more productive employees. Well, there's a surprise. In Japan, experimenting with a 3-day weekend increased productivity at Microsoft there by 39.9%. Britain, unfortunately, tends to believe that the only good worker is an unhappy worker. It's deeply felt that this is a natural law. I remember, about 25 years ago, a group of Danes coming to our then workplace and being appalled by the long, macho hours and presenteeism, all of which was just stretching out incompetence. Our bemused visitors could sense this right away. Longer hours did not mean that more got done. My memory of offices and the 8-hour day is that at least 6.5 of them were wasted. Unlike we Britlanders, Scandinavians have a reputation for getting their work done and leaving the office early. But do we really want to do that? What would we do when we got home? Given more time there, we'd only waste it, same as we did at work. Ms. Marin mentioned families, but these are old hat nowadays and nobody can be bothered starting one, what with all the hassle and mess. No, the second report that caught my eye regarding what we do with our time was one that said people were being referred to counselors and therapists for binge-watching box sets and Netflix in their spare time. Some, indeed, were doing it at work, putting their jobs at risk, and the few that still had old-fashioned families were putting a strain on these too. So, there's your choice, work or binge-watch telly. You say, not me, pal. I'd be out walking the hills or writing a novel, Ken. This news just in. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't know what to do with your time. Experience T. For more on this story, visit the news article link.